And WAGNN stands for
We ain't got no name.
We ain't got no name. We ain't got no name. We ain't got no name. No name.
Okay, you guys, welcome back. We are here with WAGNN with episode 6, and today we're going to talk about grief and loss as it relates to celebrity. You didn't say it in Spanish, the number.
Seis.
Thank you. So, as you know, in the news, we've had a significant loss to the entertainment world, the world of basketball, and just to anyone who watched or knew about Kobe Bryant. We're not going to dive into what happened or what took place or anything like that. However, we do want to dive into the aspect of grief and loss. We're going to talk about the 5 stages of grief, and also what are the rules of engagement as it relates to celebrities. How do you provide? How do you give out information, or do you expose information to others without a certain protocol? So one thing we want to discuss is the stages of grief. We're going to do a little bit of an informational session for those of you who have lost someone that is very significant to you in your life, and or anybody who's grieving this loss of Kobe Bryant, who is a celebrity in this modern day time. So the 5 stages of grief, they range not necessarily in order. However, the stages are as follows. The first stage is denial and isolation. Then there's anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. So for all of you out there, there is no specific flow of grief. You can go in and out of the multiple stages of grief due to how you're feeling at the time. However, WAGNN is here to let you know we support you. And most of all, take your time when you're grieving. It is a part of life, and it is something that we all have experienced or will experience. So WAGNN ladies, what do you think about this situation with Kobe and how the information was filtered to the world?
I honestly thought I was shocked. I was shocked when I got the news or saw the news. It came to me in a text message. I think I was also a little bit upset at the fact that it came out before bodies were even identified. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I think that was just completely disrespectful to me. You know, we were going to hear about it anyway. I just think it came out so soon. Like,
it was breaking news, like Shazam, out. You know, I remember when I heard it, I was actually taking a nap, and I heard my family downstairs saying, you know, he passed. And I opened up one eye and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go back to sleep because I'm not even trying to feel these feelings. And then I woke up again and I turned on the news to CNN, and what I saw was they didn't put any names to the story. They just said a helicopter crash. So I didn't believe the family. I was like, oh, they got it wrong. Nah. And then I went back to sleep. Then when I woke up again for the 3rd time, that's when it had finally hit that it was him and his family and friends.
I found out, me and my sister were actually getting piercings, and she was like, oh, Kobe died. I'm like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Then kept refreshing, and saw it. TMZ dropped it. Told my dad. My dad was messed up for the rest of devastated. Huge Kobe fan. Came home, put on his Kobe sneakers. Devastated. I was disgusted because I understand that we are in a time where, you know, it's good business to put a story out, breaking news. Everyone wants to be the one to just put something out, not realizing that these are people's lives. The deceased, the families that are still left here, these are people's lives. And it doesn't just happen like with celebrities. It happens on a smaller scale with with us, with regular people. Someone has a baby and everyone got to be the first one to post a picture of the baby, and not realizing that these are people and our lives are not for, to a degree, it's for entertainment, but there has to be a limit. And I think that's what kind of bothers me, and the fact that his wife found out with the rest of us.
Right.
And the issue, granted, TMZ has a part to play in it for releasing it, but they had to get that from someone.
Yeah, they did.
So, and the only people that were there at the time were first responders. So that means someone there had to come and tell it. So what kind of person to tell a story, which I'm sure they received payment for that.
Of course.
You would sit there and put someone's life on display to get some money at that time? That's disgusting. And that's where we are as a society, and that's bad.
Well, you know, with the newness, I mean, social media isn't brand new, but it's new just the same because rules and regulations haven't been passed down yet. Protocols and how you filter information and what you say to people hasn't been regulated yet. So when it comes down to social media, people forget all rules. What I grew up knowing was that you respect the dead and their family.
Right.
Exactly.
Period. You know, and you don't talk negatively about someone who had just passed away. You know, and what you're supposed to do is, if you are a praying person, you say a prayer for that person who have passed, that their soul goes to the Lord, right? And then that you pray for healing for the family. I haven't heard that really anywhere. It's just the past allegations and he's dead. Like,
just getting the stories out.
Just getting the story out. And we leave out the humane part of us, the human part of us, of feeling that thing called human attachment. You know, and this is a very touchy subject because where is our humanity? Where is our ability to feel empathy for a wife, people's children, people's family members, people's parents? And you know what? Even for the fans, I'm not a basketball fan, but I'll watch it. But my heart goes out to the fans for how they're feeling as well, because a lot of people are hurt out there.
I think even if you weren't a fan, you were still affected.
Yeah.
You were still affected.
Yeah.
Like, it's just sad. And I think it really hits hard when, you know, then you find out his daughter was with him. I know that probably hit me the hardest.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know how much my father loves me and how much he would do for me. And I'm like, I can only imagine how he must have felt as a father, that in this moment, I can't do nothing to save my child. I can't do anything.
Or,
Helpless.
you can't even kiss your wife and tell her what's happening. Or tell your other daughters, who are very important in this story, that daddy will not be coming home. That's crazy.
But all the media is focused on, because, you know, the age of technology, you get things so quickly.
Fast.
Everybody's just trying to get the story out, get every detail out, and not realizing, you know, all the components that's in it. Not even realizing, like, there was other people in there.
There were other people in
And
there.
it wasn't until hours later that, okay, days later, here's the names and
people.
here's this and that. And it's kind of like, so many people these are real lives. So many people are hurting. This is not a game.
There's
lost
people
their
out there
lives,
even upset at the fact that they just putting up Kobe Bryant, and not acknowledging the other 7, which I understand and I get.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, we know why his name is out there. We know why they're running with it. He's a global icon.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's not just a
And
regular celebrity.
eventually, I think the difference was, okay, you know who Kobe was. I'm sure the first responder, you see people, you see Kobe Bryant, you know who that is. Everyone else, you don't know, so you got to get the information out. But naturally, the focus is going to be on Kobe.
Right.
So what do you think? What do you think should have happened in that moment? Like, how should the media have reacted? What should they have done?
I think it comes down to integrity. So I don't think there's anything. I think it comes down to integrity. whoever was there that leaked it should have respected the family enough, or at least tried to have a sense of empathy and put themselves in that family's shoes and just been like, okay, I'm going to hold this, whatever. And even the media, they should have just been like, because it's going to have to come out. Obviously, you can't keep that under wraps. But if you can get all this information, obviously you have connections. You can find out whether his family knows.
Right. Of course.
So at least if you must put it out, wait until you know for sure the family knows.
I think that's usually the first question for first responders is who's going to notify the family? When do you notify the family? So that's the top two questions, period, in that profession.
Here's the catch, though, because the LAPD released a statement pretty much talking about TMZ and saying, they should have, it's disgusting that they did that. And at that time, and this is hours later, at that time, the coroner still hadn't even been there.
Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
the coroner.
I think the media should have had a conversation with law enforcement before they even took anything and ran with it. You know what I mean? Especially if you already heard that Kobe Bryant may be in this wreck. You know what I mean? Like, I think they should have just dealt with law enforcement and be on that to make sure, like she said, the family knows what's going on before we take the story and run with it. You already know you the first person with the story.
Right.
Just follow what, be respectful.
I'm not sure if law enforcement would actually be able to.
They're not going to tell you anything.
I don't think they can't, but TMZ could have waited until they got on TV and said, but it's like,
but why
it's a money game. That's what that was about.
Well, then now we're talking about, even when it comes to grief and loss, money still rules. And a person's integrity can't be bought, no matter if you're going through one of the worst crises in your life. And that's what I feel is a shame. And when it comes down to media also, is like, pipe down, yo. Like, you chase people down. You pop up out the trees in the bushes.
Princess Diana died because of that.
That is exactly where I'm going with it.
Yep.
Died because of that.
Running down the story.
Running down a story, you done killed somebody. Whew, that makes me upset.
That's why Prince Harry was like, you know what, never mind. Keep going.
All right, okay, because we can go there, but we gotta stick on this topic, you know. And even with that case in London, you know, it was in London, right? Okay. Even in that case with London, where Princess Diana, that was even horrific, because before anything could happen, people jumping out their cars taking pictures. And even on a smaller scale, I remember it was a club in Long Island and somebody passed away and they were taking pictures of the body and posting it online. How disrespectful, and how can you disregard another's life like that? Like, I can't even watch stuff like that.
This whole social media age is ridiculous.
Because there's no rules.
There's none.
There's
whatsoever.
no rules.
Everybody's too busy trying to get the story.
Everybody too busy trying to get the latest scoop.
And that's, in general, people are nosy. People want to know what's going on and don't want to do anything. Like, you can see something going on, and if you pull out your phone before checking to see if they need help, there's something wrong.
Yeah,
and a lot of people,
I've seen that.
I mean, that's called the bystander effect, because that happened in the 60s with Kitty Genovese, where people saw everybody's looking out their window watching this woman get killed.
Yes.
But everybody's watching, hearing, but nobody's doing anything because they're expecting someone else to do it, and she dies.
And now everybody's mourning.
I think, go ahead.
It's frustrating to me. I sometimes just want the whole social media thing to just crash and
Bring
burn
back
sometimes.
Bell Atlantic and the rotary phones.
For real. Because this is just getting out
Am I
of
dating
control.
Yeah, I don't know about the rotary.
Things are just out of control, I
Maybe just a
feel.
landline.
Nobody has no regard for anything.
None.
Human anymore. No empathy, no sympathy, no compassion, no nothing.
Because everybody think their opinion matters, even though this is a podcast about our opinions. And it matters, but still, go ahead.
It's food for thought. We give food for thought.
Yes.
On our little podcast. We
That's
give food
right.
for thought. We also give out a little bit of information. You know, might get some help somewhere. But we definitely give food for thought. Something make you think. We want to make people think. Put the phones down.
That's the
Stop
problem. People
frying
are not
up your
thinking.
brain cells.
People are not thinking.
I'm finding that the thought process, which is amazing, is lost.
It is.
It is lost. Like, likes is the thing that says you're right. If you get
And I'm
likes,
popular.
that makes you right. So if someone is going to feed a story for a check, and somebody say to you 5 different times, like, yeah, that's all right, do it, you're going to do it. Like, where is the common ground with you having common sense?
It's slowly depleting
Right.
as the years move by.
I think it's
Like,
halfway gone.
seriously, it's depleting. If you guys have never seen a movie called Idiocracy, watch it, because that's where we're heading. Idiocracy. Okay?
No one has an original thought, or
Nope.
no one is willing to say, no,
That's
stop.
not okay. Stop.
That's
Wait.
not
Let's-
okay.
Yeah, nobody.
You know, I also want to discuss this too when it comes down to celebrities and grief and loss. We also have to understand that our celebrities are also human people.
They human first.
They're human first, with a
First.
talent,
Foremost.
and a wonderful gift that was given, and they have been able to capitalize and be rewarded for their gifts. Now, there are some celebrities, I don't know what person said you should do these things. Some of y'all singers.
But you know what? That's a topic, and we could do that one day,
Okay.
because I have
Okay.
an issue with that.
You know, you and I both got these issues with these
There's
singers
a
out there.
certain celebrity that
Okay.
people be like, I'm like, did you hear? Do you hear her?
Okay, so we can't go off
gonna
topic.
do it. Yeah, we
Okay,
gonna
we
do
back.
it.
So we talked a little bit about denial, right? And I spoke about how I kind of isolated myself. I went to sleep. What about the anger that's coming out, which is one of the other stages in grief and loss? Anger. Have you guys seen any examples of anger or outcries of anger when it comes down to the death of celebrities?
Like, okay, because I think we have to distinguish between anger in regards to their passing and anger in regards to what's coming out after about their lives after the passing,
that's
because that's
good.
two different things
So
when
let's
it comes
discuss
to grief.
Let's discuss both.
Okay,
because it's
the,
relevant.
Because the anger in regards to the grieving process, it's like, I'm angry that they're gone. That's probably what his family and stuff is, and even to a degree what some fans are feeling. And I'm seeing a little bit of that in regards to he just retired. He still
Right.
had a new life to build and create. He was around his children more. Like, I'm angry in that regard.
Right.
I've seen that mildly.
Okay.
I think my anger towards this situation comes from the fact of just bad judgment calls on the pilot of that helicopter. You know what I mean? Like, if you already know that everything was grounded,
Right.
why in the hell did you take the helicopter up? I think we need to have a little bit more proper judgment calls. I don't care if the person is a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire.
Right.
If the weather says
Right.
you cannot put the vehicle in the sky,
Yeah.
why is it there?
You know, I had that same reasoning when Aaliyah passed.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Did I hit that
I
on the
was
nose?
just getting ready to say
when
that.
Aaliyah passed, and it's kind of like the same
It's
thing.
the same.
It was
anger.
too heavy.
If you're a
It was too
professional,
heavy.
if you're a professional, you can't tell me how to do my
My
job.
job.
Exactly.
And
The
that,
plane
that's the
won't
case.
leave. You got to get another pilot.
And this also says something. Never be in a position where somebody can tell you how to do your job and it can cause you your
Your
life
life.
or somebody else's.
Right.
Never be in a position where, or try your best not to be in a position where you're driven by making money, where you have to, not where you have to. Where you will make poor judgment calls due to making sure you get that check,
Right.
or because they're a celebrity, I gotta do it. You ain't got to do nothing. If you know for sure and your professional experience states that, 1, you should not go up in the air. 2, it's too busy. No, it's too foggy. Or 3, it's too heavy.
Yep.
Pilot school is not cheap.
It's not.
So
It's not.
your experience and your expertise is essential to keeping people safe.
Because I'm going to just be flat out like, y'all may not care about y'all lives, but this one right here, this plane ain't going nowhere. Y'all got to find another pilot that's going to risk it.
Honestly, that's the way the captain of any ship should be.
Right.
You run that vessel.
You have the right to be cocky.
That's when you're the man in charge. Because at the end of the day, everything falls back on you.
Yep.
That's why when you're on a ship, the captain never leaves his ship. Because that's his ship.
And that's why
I
ain't no captain on
none
no
of us
ship.
are captains because we bailing. We out of here.
I'm the first one going.
That's the water because I'm diving in.
I'd have picked up the mic. Got to save yourself. Every man for himself and going. I'd have been on a lifeboat already.
So we're gonna move on to the third aspect of grief and loss, which is bargaining. You know, and that's that sign where, oh, but if you give me one more chance, you know, please make it better, or
I'll take me instead.
Right? You know, and that's a stage that people go through, you know, which is perfectly normal.
I've never been through that stage.
I don't think I've had neither.
And I know people do. I just never have.
I didn't say take me though.
That's not funny.
I'm a little too selfish for that. No, don't take me. I didn't say me. I've probably bargained for time. Let me just have a little bit more time. You know, and that's a bargaining chip that you can use is more time. Some people, you know, like we just said, is
I think the family is probably going to be in that bargaining.
Of course.
Hard body. Like,
especially, I don't want to say especially in regards to Gigi, the daughter. Because it's like, okay, she was 13. I'm sure the mom is like,
and her siblings.
Me.
Yeah.
Why not me? She was only 13.
Right. Right. Why couldn't I have been in the helicopter instead of my baby?
But they had an agreement never to go in the helicopters together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Because somebody has to take care of the family.
Because helicopters are dangerous.
They are. I'm not getting in one.
Wow.
Not after that. No, not that. Not a helicopter. Not a ship. I'm done. I'm just gonna go by car or bike.
Bike?
Oh, I can't go to Georgia in a bike.
No, you can't.
No, I won't.
Train?
It's too long.
Leaving on the midnight train in
my
Georgia?
gosh. Stop it. All right.
To go.
So we're gonna move through on to our next stage, which is depression, and I think a lot of people can probably either relate or have heard this word before. Now with mental health becoming more aware of the mental health crises, one of the top disorders is depression, besides ADHD, but we're focusing on depression today, is a widespread type of disorder. And it can come for multiple reasons.
Well, I think we also have to like kind of distinguish that too, because you have depression, the disorder, and then you have the depression, just the feeling
of
the experience and feeling of it, which does not have, because I think everyone experiences some type of depression in their life at some point.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily make it a disorder, because the disorder actually has to do with chemicals of the brain. But, you know, I don't get into all of that.
Well, we don't have to, but I thought that was a great clarification so people aren't mixed up. And there's also depression that relates specifically to grief.
Right.
You
Situational
know, and
depression.
this is what we're talking about, is this type of depression. And
so I don't want y'all to think like I got I'm depressed today, so let me go and get some meds.
No.
No. Don't.
It's called pray.
Right.
Or talk to somebody. I really feel like depression can be worked through. I really feel that, especially when it comes to grief, because people can spiral out of control when it comes to dealing with grief and becoming so depressed about it. Like, I know people that their whole life just went in a completely different direction because they don't know how to handle or cope with the loss.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to understand and know that you have to speak to somebody
Right.
when it comes to dealing with loss
Yes.
of a person that was close to you, be it a mother, a father, a sibling, whoever it is. You need to seek somebody, some kind of help,
Right.
something, because slipping into depression and
Right.
deep depression where you can't come back from it,
Right.
it can be detrimental.
And we're not just talking
It can
about
be fatal.
Yeah, it can. And we're not talking about people who are just experiencing sadness.
Yeah.
You know, we're not talking
We're
about
talking about you consumed with it.
consumed. Your daily activities has either halted or come to an abrupt stop, or even over the course of time where your daily functioning has kind of stopped.
It's diminishing, yeah.
Right.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
diminishing.
You know, and this is due to grief. So here is here it is. If you are going through depression, please seek out a therapist, a psychiatrist, or a psychologist, or a mental health professional to help you deal with these issues. But within this podcast, we're talking about depression as it relates to grief. And if you are experiencing depression due to grief, then the same rules apply. Still seek out a mental health professional. Talk to someone about these feelings so they do not get bottled up and, it turns into something a little bit more serious.
Right, because grief and loss, like, it's normal to experience those feelings, but you'll know if it's like crippling.
Right.
If it's crippling, go and get.
Yeah. People are going to wonder about you.
Yeah.
Like, how come you're not showing up to, or you're missing days at work and you're not really sick?
You're
with a
not
cough,
showering.
And you're not showering. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or
Depression
eating,
can be
Right.
bad, man.
sleeping, So again, get help. Please seek out help from a local agency that deals with mental health.
Yeah. And I think in this situation, I read something that Vanessa, as depressed as she is, she can't shut down
Right.
because she has other children
That's
to
the
take
strength
care
of a mother.
Right. Right. And it's like a double whammy, like your husband and your daughter, but I still have to be there and support them in their grief.
That is the strength of a mother. Not just a woman, of a mom.
And the oldest daughter was in the hospital because
Yes.
she had an asthma attack. She was hyperventilating from just her grief. So it's like, as a mom, like, she probably can't even grieve the way that she wants
needs
to right now.
Yeah.
That's so
I mean,
sad in itself, man. Like, I can't even imagine what she's going through.
My prayer for that family is that they have the support, that Vanessa gets the support of loving people around her to protect her, to shield her, and to keep people who don't mean that family any good away from her. That's my prayer for that family.
Keep Lisa Leslie around them.
Yeah, keep them.
Keep her.
Because we're going to get into
Keep
that
her.
as the last piece of this. And the last stage is acceptance. As we stated earlier, death is a part of life. We are all here on borrowed time, and it's what we do with our life that will last and stand. And in this case, we're talking about Kobe, and that's what his legacy is. We're going to make sure it lasts
Right.
for
'Cause
what
he
it
is
was.
a great.
He
He is a great.
is a great in
At this
basketball.
point, he was. but
Legend.
He is. He's a
Legend.
legend.
Yeah,
Legend.
Well, Jesus, yes, a legend.
A legend.
A well-deserved title for this person.
And he worked for it, boy. That man worked.
Mamba mentality.
Focused.
Worked.
Yeah. And I hope that, we all hope that everyone can get to this point of acceptance that, his passing has taken place. But as a people, as fans, as human beings, we do have to move on and live our lives and make sure we live our lives to the fullest, because that's why we're here on this earth, is to perform to the best of our abilities and be kind to one another and help one another.
And that acceptance piece is very important, because if you don't get there, you're going to keep repeating those stages. I just encountered someone that lost their mother 6 years ago, and this person does not process it as my mom passed away. They say my mom is on vacation, she's overseas, she'll be back. That's my way to cope with that. Okay, but it's been 6 years. At what point, oh, I haven't had a breakdown about it, I just don't accept it as what it is.
Right. So they're still in the first stage.
Right.
And typically,
Right.
you can flow in and out of stages
Right.
at various times.
Right. And it's hindering this person in all areas of their life, and they don't realize it.
And that person would be someone I would refer to mental health services.
I have him.
Good.
Nice.
There we go. Okay. So you guys get the point?
Right.
When it hinders your daily functioning and your ability to do the things that you would normally do as a person, you need to seek mental health services. Now, on another note, I do want to get into this interview because I do believe, and I might get cream for this, I don't think you should disrespect the dead.
Ever?
Not before the funeral has taken place.
Okay. So let's clarify.
Okay.
Disrespect the dead or tell? Because not
Okay.
talking about Kobe, just in general.
In general.
Disrespect the dead or not tell the truth about the dead, because you can tell the truth, which is the good, bad, and the ugly, and not disrespect them.
I think telling the truth about the dead in an inappropriate time is disrespectful.
Timing is everything. Okay.
Yeah, timing is everything.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's say someone was abusing children. Oh, you know what? We're gonna just call a thing a thing. Let's say
Let's call it
R.
a thing.
Kelly, who is currently going through his legal issues, because the day is gonna come where he gonna pass away.
Right.
Are we not gonna, like, is it not fair to say this man was this, and that
So
at the time of?
Right. So I'll say this. I said I might get cream for it. I don't think his funeral should be publicized.
Okay.
I don't think that he should have a parade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that would be disrespectful to
The
The
victims.
victims, yeah.
You know, because there's information out there saying like, yo, he did this, like evidence, boom, 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 boom. That's different from someone who has had their day in court, possibly acquitted, or has been acquitted, or the allegations dismissed. And this has been multiple people. I think that's something different. If someone just passed away, I don't think you should air dirty laundry or bring up something from the past if it's been laid to rest.
So it's okay to bring it up though at some point,
Not before they've been laid to rest.
but you can bring it up at some point. Like, for instance, a perfect case of this would be Aaron Hernandez.
Okay. All right.
Now he got this documentary alleging certain stuff about his sexual experience. Again, that's allegedly. And then the facts of his case.
That's a touchy subject.
Because, you know, even though he's gone, he still has his fiance, the daughter. So is it okay to
Right.
discuss it? Like, when's the time to discuss it?
Well, somebody already picked the time to
Well,
discuss it because it's a Netflix special on it.
It's a good special too.
I found it difficult to watch.
It was very difficult to watch, but it was
I
very
don't think
informative.
I've watched that.
Ooh.
You know what it's like?
Ooh, it was deep. It was heavy.
He appeared. Okay. The things that transpired in his actions are unacceptable. You know, you don't have the right to take anyone's life for any reason. Understanding that there was such a inner turmoil with this person,
Allegedly.
that I don't know if anyone knew or took the time to know because he was so good at what he did.
Now, are you talking about the sexual turmoil?
I'm talking about the sexual turmoil.
Here's the issue with that.
Tell me.
There are plenty of people dealing with that same turmoil and they don't kill people.
You're right. Now, remember what I said. He is not, it is not acceptable and to commit murder.
And this is like, this is going off topic. My issue with that is like, that I think it was used to sensationalize the story, because that piece
that I agree
literally had nothing. It had no merit to the situation.
I was trying to figure out
where did it fit in. Nothing came in to tie it together.
No,
nothing.
That's why it was probably difficult for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah, but like, when is the appropriate? Like, what is there ever an appropriate time to say this? Okay, in Kobe's situation, will there ever be an appropriate time to say this is what he was on trial for?
That's your girl, Gayle King, right there. Well, what y'all think about that?
She did it too soon.
I think it was so way too soon.
And she pressed. Yep. She wouldn't let it go.
Right. And that's his friend.
Because that's, forget the fact that this Lisa Leslie, another legend in her own right, that was his friend. So she's also grieving.
Right.
And again, his family is grieving.
I think that interview was just tasteless.
It was, and
it was very tasteless. And if I was Lisa Leslie, I would have gave Gayle King a piece of my mind. Like, who in the world you think you are asking me these kind of dumbass questions at this time? And the man ain't even in the ground yet.
Yeah, and that's
very disrespectful. No kind of compassion whatsoever.
That's a classic case.
Again, running for the story, trying to be the first one to get something out there,
and then backpedaling, and then backpedaling
in his video, in his interview,
and then backpedaling and apologize. You planned this. You planned it.
Exactly
it was editing. It wasn't editing.
CBS
nothing.
knew too. Everybody was in this.
Everybody knew.
Everybody was in it. Oprah knew. Because I know Gayle called him like, girl, let me tell you what I'm about to ask.
The interview went sweet.
Wait, just watch it. So I do think there should be a rule. You know what I mean? Like, at least give it a year.
Yeah. At least
a year. Before you start having this conversation,
but it's
about
not even just her.
Do.
It's not even just her. Like, if you read all the comments that people put up, or people just trying to mourn the loss of Kobe Bryant, people trying to sell stuff with jerseys and T-shirts and hoodies, and I'm not buying nothing. He was a this and he was a that. Like, are you serious right now? You should see some of the things these people are saying about this man.
Yeah, that was acquitted.
Right? Okay,
no, he wasn't acquitted.
He wasn't acquitted.
No, the case was dropped. Yeah,
dropped.
Yeah, he wasn't acquitted. Never went to trial.
It settled out of court.
It's ridiculous. Probably. So she must have been reading the same comments. She must have been reading the same comments and decided to go have an interview. Wasn't the interview supposed to be about Lisa Leslie though in the first place? How it get on Kobe?
Right.
How it get on
because
Kobe?
They were best friends.
That was a ploy.
They were best friends.
And then she wanted to sit up there and cry. Take them crocodile tears and put them right back in your eyes.
And
you
Oprah
know exactly
out here trying to force a tear
doing.
today. Trying to force a tear out. I couldn't do it.
She was covering up for her friend.
I mean, that's a ride or die. I get it, but
that's
still.
That's her girl right there.
She better be telling her girl on the side, like, girl, you messed up.
I don't think she told her that.
I'm sure.
A lot of people felt the type of way about that interview, and I'm quite sure we still ain't here.
I think
I know.
You know what?
The responses.
I think it was the fact that she kept pressing. Like I said, the timing was too soon, but it could have been, how do you feel about that? And then, okay, I don't think it complicates his legacy, or it does complicate his legacy. Right. All right, but how do you feel about how he turned it around, or something? Like, because if you're gonna tell the story, tell the whole story. This happened, but he turned it around like this. He became an advocate for women. Talk about the whole picture,
right?
If you're going to, you must discuss it.
But in media, there's never the whole picture.
No, and I think that's the problem.
Right.
I think because one thing I disagree with, people are saying she should not have done that as a black woman to another black man, and with another black woman, which I disagree with. I feel like we need to tell our stories, the good, bad, or ugly, because when we don't, we leave that up to the whites or the others to tell the story. And if the story is good, there's a but. If the story is bad, they sensationalize it. So I think we need to tell our stories. Timing is everything. How you do it is everything. If you tell the story, tell the whole story, and not be accusatory, and not keep pushing.
Right. It was definitely tasteless. definitely tasteless. And I think most people are more upset because we respect Gail or respected.
I don't know her.
I don't know either.
She just
not
came
my
out of
best
nowhere
friend,
for me.
but
I don't know. I just do
from
know her
what
as
I
Oprah's best friend.
gather,
Like I know
right.
Stedman as her Oprah's something.
thing,
Man thing.
friend, whatever.
Who cares? Look, who
Right.
cares?
But I mean, as far as journalism is concerned, you know, she's had some very good positions on. She didn't have good
I
positions.
don't know,
I
but
don't
she
know. I don't
played
watch them.
herself
Y'all,
in
I'm
that
getting so
interview.
many eyes from the
I don't-
WAGNN team right now.
I don't know.
I'm like, well, then
She did good with R. Kelly.
She made R. Kelly have a temper tantrum. Is that
Because
good?
but that's because she was holding him to task to what he was saying.
Right.
And so, you know.
Yeah, she thought she was about to get the same praise
Yeah,
that she got from having that interview.
She did.
And y'all need to tune into Snoop Dogg because he definitely.
That was funny. He asked for permission. Can I get permission, y'all? Can I get permission, y'all?
Well done, Snoop. Well done.
Yeah, man.
Just disrespectful.
Bootsy,
no
we
tact,
see
no
you too.
class,
Wipe me
no
down.
Nothing. Just ridiculous with
Yeah.
it, man.
But in all seriousness, you know, when a person is grieving, it is important to give the family respect and time to deal with their loss. No matter how you feel about them, that's still their family member. That's still an important person in their life that means something to them. Remember, when you're dealing with celebrities, they have their own niche of family and friends that's outside of the big world and what you see. People have feelings, they have emotions, and they deal and process things like any other human being. So we have to be cognizant of the fact to be respectful. And I think we've said this over again, it's time, timing, respect, decency, and order.
I think what people forget is we don't know them.
We don't know
We don't know
them.
them. We know a part of
A
their
piece.
lives. So whether they do amazing things or whether they do not so amazing things, we don't know them. So I think what happens is, as far as people that are like, oh, he was a rapist, he is this and that.
You there?
Those people were so disappointed because how could you do this? You're this great basketball player, but it's kind of like, again, you don't know him. So you don't know what he's
And you
capable
weren't
of
there.
doing. And, you know, and again, I'm not saying I think Kobe was great. So that's my
As far
personal
as I'm
standpoint.
concerned, he's a 1978er. So
that's right.
he rocks in my book.
That's right.
So I feel like, you know, we have to remember we don't know these people. So
don't.
stop putting them on this pedestal. And keep in mind that there are people in their lives that know them. So while you may be hurting or you may be angry, there are people in his lives that are hurting. There are probably people in his lives that feels like he did rape someone and are angry with him and are probably like, good, he's gone. We don't know them.
We don't know.
We don't know them. So we have to chill and let the people close to them process their feelings, because their feelings matter more than any of
Than
ours.
ours, because it's just an empty opinion.
Right, because we all
Exactly.
went to work. We all went on about our days,
Sure
and we
did.
got fine people at the bar right now. Everybody, Vanessa and the kids
Are dealing.
Yep.
going through it.
Yep.
His parents, his sisters, they're going through it.
Yeah.
And then they having to hear, because I'm sure they know about the
Hear
media
and
dragging
read.
him, Gail dragging him.
And how they feel about that.
I just want to know what's the point though. Like
Everything
what's
for
the point?
ratings. For ratings.
Sell
And
your
to get your
soul
numbers
to
up.
gain the world.
That's
the
what it's
problem.
for ratings. At the end of the day, for ratings.
Yeah.
She gonna take that bushy wig though. She better go brush it. Cause she done messed up on this one. Gail, you messed up on this
You
one.
done messed up, man.
I think it's okay. Like, again, I think the timing was off, but I think it's okay to talk about, again, the nuances of who anybody is, but tell the whole story.
But that
tell
I
it all.
think that is
questions
the
was
issue
dumb.
though.
Tell
But
the
that's
whole thing,
problem.
because you're focused on that one piece, and there was so much
So
more
much more.
that he contributed and did.
There's so much more that happened 17 years later.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. That doesn't
Like, do you have to bring that up? Of course, that was a part of his
Right,
life,
right.
but that shouldn't be the focal point.
I agree.
Everybody made that the poor focal point. I think I'm still in the angry stage. I'm just in the angry stage because they just trying to play my boy. A legend. I didn't follow him like that, but I feel like he was my peer. I really do.
Well, he was our
You know, we
peer,
went
our
to
peer
we
group.
we watched the whole man's life play out in front of us for mad years.
Yeah.
Like, and then the minute he's gone, it's like, oh, he's gone. But let's talk about 17 years ago. Like, are you serious right now?
But that's what they do. I think that's an argument to discuss regarding how we talk about people.
They still do that to Michael Jackson. They still trying to get him.
To say that, not for nothing, they stay trying to tear down our black men that was great people when they were in their careers.
They were great professionals.
I about to say, I don't know.
Great entertainers.
I don't think they were great.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I think we got to be careful with great people because we don't know
right.
them.
That's why
we
she
clarified.
corrected it. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Great entertainers and great professionals. So in their careers, how we're saying, awesome. But as people, that's relative because we don't know them. And we
right.
can't make an assumption that we know them. Like, for example, ooh, this is going to make me mad. My children ain't going to nobody's Neverland Ranch.
I wanted to go to Neverland so badly. I love Michael Jackson. I still do.
Me too.
I love Michael.
But I don't want to hang around you.
My parents wouldn't let me go to Neverland.
I never want to hang around a celebrity.
Neverland.
Nah, man. I go to Adventureland. I'm good.
You gonna go to Heavenland?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You gonna go to Heavenland before you go to
And some
Neverland?
people allegedly went to some other kind of land, right?
Right.
Shoot. And that's the thing, like, because a person is a celebrity, sometimes we lose all our marbles. We lose all of our factors that say, dee, 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 dee. This person don't sound right. This person don't look right. What they're saying is, not on target with our values and our morals. But because they're a celebrity, you forego everything. You put them on a pedestal. Oh, because they make so much money, they're awesome.
They're awesome. They're a role model. That's why I like what Cardi B said. Cardi B's like, I ain't nobody's role model. Stop making me. I don't. You raise your kids. I'm nobody's role model.
I agree with her.
Just because I'm out here rapping, I'm not rapping for your children. I'm not doing.
Don't you bring her home.
Stop putting people
Told
on the
my son,
pedestal.
don't you bring
'Cause
nobody
I think that's what happens, especially like in the
good,
black
Cardi.
community. We get our celebrities and we're just holding them to this high esteem
Like
because
they're God.
They're gods because they are black and they've made it to this status. And it's kind of like, okay, they made it because of this one portion of their life, but we
Right.
don't know them. So stop putting all your stock into them and then being heartbroken
Yes.
when they do something.
Right.
What made you think Bill Cosby wouldn't possibly, and I'm not saying he did because I got my own feelings about that
I
too.
don't believe
but
ya.
Wouldn't
I don't
possibly,
believe it,
but
Bill.
wouldn't possibly slip
I
some
don't know
drugs.
what's there.
What makes you think that R. Kelly wouldn't touch children? What
Right.
makes you think that Aaron Hernandez wouldn't, because these are people of color?
Right.
Because so they're above doing something wrong?
No, they're not. They're not.
But I
think
got my feelings about all of them. Because
Right.
I ain't going to say them because people be mad about my feelings.
I don't know. I
'Cause
guess it just.
Michael Jackson ain't touched nobody.
I don't think he did.
Let me
either.
tell you something.
But that Whitney, she was on them drugs.
Ain't none of my kids going somewhere without me,
Yeah.
where I can either hold their hand or be able to access them whenever I need to. That's not going down no matter who you are. Otherwise, never mind. I'll keep that to myself. Never mind. So all we're saying is, in this particular episode, as it relates to grief and loss, understand that it's normal to go through the 5 stages in which we discuss, which is denial and isolation, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. We've went through the 5 stages in detail. If you feel that you're having a harder time dealing with the loss of a family friend or any type of loved one, please seek help. Seek help with a mental health professional so that your life doesn't stop moving forward.
Now,
You
the
can even
services ain't
reach
free.
out to WAGNN. We can refer you.
We can refer you.
Understand this
Absolutely.
though, them services ain't free.
They're not free.
I'll tell you right now, I don't do volunteer work.
But we do take Medicaid. All right. And also, as it relates to celebrities, please make sure that understand that they are people just like you. they've just had a big break and is able to achieve a level of wealth that either we didn't achieve yet or we just haven't achieved. And that's okay too. But understand that they are human beings that breathe, that live, and that dies just like everybody else. They have to go through the full circle of life. And the only person that you should believe in, we say our Most High, God, but also believe in yourself.
I was getting ready to say that.
Put stock into yourself.
You've got to believe in
Be
yourself.
Be a role model for your own children. Don't leave it up to a basketball player or a football player to raise your children. You be the hero in your household.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
Be the hero in your own
Unless your
house.
kid want to play basketball and you out of shape.
Then
like hook them up. Like
you may not be the hero
Right.
we looking for then.
you could just be you could be the positive example of who they are as an overall person, but you got to connect them with the right people.
Teach them sportsmanship.
Like
Y'all are so
teach them Mamba mentality, but you can't teach them how to
Teach
play.
them, make sure they read.
Right.
Don't be
If
over
your
here
kid-
trying to be a professional and
if your
can't read a contract.
Right. And stop. You know what? And you know what else people need to stop
What?
doing?
What? Tell
People
me.
need to stop telling their kids they could be anything they want to be. No, they can't. Your kids can be anything that they want to be within their own realm of talent.
You
So
right.
if your baby can't sing, she can't become Beyonce. Stop telling her she
Stop
become
it.
Beyonce because she can't sing.
No, that's wrong. Because there are many people out
And that's
there
not right.
who was told that they got a golden voice and they sound like
Exactly.
marks. What is that? What is it?
Scratching on the
Scratches on the
blackboard.
blackboard. It hurts my ears.
But you can't tell them they could be Beyonce. You can say they could be Rihanna, but you can't say they could be Beyonce. You can't say if you can't sing, you can't be Beyonce.
The Beehive gonna come after me because I got my own thoughts on that. But okay,
B could sing, but if
not gospel.
Okay,
well,
we
nah,
need to
nah,
go
nah.
ahead and wrap up.
Okay,
this
guys,
session. All
look, we
right.
gonna cut that.
I'll give you that.
You got me that?
I'll give you that
Okay,
one.
she
I'll
can
give
see
you
some Ave Maria.
I'll
But
give you that.
don't you say this loud of mine. Don't you do it. I'm gonna be mad.
She can't do that. But then again, well,
No, she cannot.
There's there's one of her doing swing low, sweet check. She kills that. She actually kills that. But that's another
That's
topic
not-
for another day.
That's not even gospel.
No, I'm gonna play it for you.
I don't want to hear
Play
it.
it for you.
She can't even do Precious Lloyd. Out
She
of here.
can't do that.
Okay, thank you.
I can't with y'all.
All right. So we're gonna come back with the singers. That might be episode 22. But
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we need to do a role model episode.
We gonna
You know
do
what? Yeah.
a role model episode.
I'm down with that.
All right, cool.
Yeah, because
Up next, role model episode. That is going to be funny. Thank you guys for listening. We are WAGNN.
Live, laugh, love.
be a blessing.